Okay. All right, so we are going to start in a seated position, Sukhasana or easy seat, if that feels like a comfortable way to sit. And just give yourself a second to get nice and comfy on your mat, wiggle into your sits bones. And then if it feels good to do so, close your eyes down, let your shoulders soften, let your hands get nice and heavy and soft. And then as you start to settle in and get comfortable on your mat, just start to notice your butt and your sits bones connected to the floor, any points around the backs of your legs that are touching the floor, and your feet that are touching the floor. And then just kind of become aware of the solidness of the floor beneath you, and just see if you can take a nice big breath into that awareness. And then see if you can move your awareness above that. So thinking about the space above your thighs, above your knees, above your feet, the parts that are not touching the floor. And then see if you can just take a breath and become aware of that space. And then see if you can let your awareness come up to your side body. So think the side soft tissue below the ribs, your space of the ribs, and then even your armpit area. Take a nice big breath in and just feel that physical movement that happens in the side body as you breathe in. And then notice that soft exchange as you exhale. And then see if you can move your awareness up to your chest and think front of the chest and then the back. So we want to see if we can draw a line from the front of our heart center to the back side of the body. And then think about that breath coming front to back. Take a nice big inhale and then soften on your exhale. And then see if you can take your awareness to the physical action of breath, but noticing the breath in your nose, in your cheekbones, and in the soft palate of your mouth. So can you take a nice inhale through your nose, noticing the breath within, and a slow exhale. And then just take one more awareness of breath and just notice, where in your body do you notice your breath the most? And then before we move away from this place, just take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. And then with that intention set, eyes opened or closed, totally up to you. But as you inhale, lift your chin up towards the sky. And as you exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Keep your shoulders down and back if you can. Inhale as you lift your chin up. Exhale to tuck your chin down, and then just take a few more cycles of breath here, moving with your breath's rhythm. Move at a pace and a depth that feels good to you. As you notice the back of your neck, and then as you lift your chin, notice the front of your neck. Take one more nod of the head up and down. And then the next time you bring your chin down towards your chest, stay there. And we're going to start to roll the head gently side to side. So think ear to shoulder, or just think a smile shape, making a smile shape with your head. So it's just that half circle, staying at the bottom. So we're not turning our head all the way around in a big circle, but just taking it side to side gently. And then notice the sides of your neck. Maybe even notice the space between your shoulder blades. And then notice if you pick up any tension in your jaw here, can you let your jaw soften and let your cheekbones be soft? Take one more little roll of the head side to side. And then as your chin comes back to center, pull your chin up to a neutral position, move right into a seated cat and cow. As you inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest, arch your back. And as you exhale, pull the abdominal muscles in, round your shoulders, round your back. Beautiful. Inhale to lift your chest, lift your chin. Exhale to round your back. One more time, just like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. And then on your inhale, come to a neutral spine. Left hand's going to touch down to the ground. Right hand's going to reach up. And then we're going to take this in a fluid motion, moving side to side. So right hand's going to touch down, left hand's going to lift. And then you're just going to take it side to side a few times each side, just moving at a pace that feels good to you. And try to keep your sits bones nice and heavy on the ground. So most of the side bend action is coming out of the side body and out of the ribs. Beautiful. Take one more time each side or even yourself out. And then once you've completed both sides, we're going to take it right into a seated twist. So right hand's going to find the left knee, left hand comes behind you. Take a nice big inhale and think about getting super tall on your inhalation, lifting up through the crown of your head. Take one more breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, release, take your twist over to the other side, catch your knee, and then think about lifting up through the crown of your head on your inhalation. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release, come back to center. And now we're going to drop the left ear over to the left shoulder. Let your ear get nice and heavy. Just noticing the right side of your neck, and even allow your eyes to close down if that feels good. So just tune in, thinking about letting the shoulder get nice and heavy and finding that length through the side of the neck. Take one more breath here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, take it over to the other side, dropping the right ear over to the right shoulder, keeping the left shoulder nice and heavy, creating nice length through the side of the neck. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then on an inhale, bring your head up to center, and then we're going to take it right into an easy seated forward fold. So you're going to walk your hands out, think about hinging from your waist, reach nice and long through the fingertips, and then take a moment just to do a little assess here. Notice your knees, notice your hips, notice your low back. Take a nice big breath in. Beautiful. And then pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up through your spine. We're going to swim the hands behind the back with nice tall fingers. Squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your chest, lift your chin. And then soften that up just a little bit. Lean back into your sits bones. We're going to switch the cross in the legs, coming back to that easy seat, and then moving right back into our easy seated forward fold. So walk yourself forward just to a depth that feels good to you, and then take a moment to assess. Notice your knees, notice your hips, notice your low back, and just notice how that little subtle change, switching the cross in your legs, you might just notice something a little bit different. So take one more breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up through the spine, swim your hands behind the back, a gentle back bend again, tall fingers, lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your chin, take a nice big breath. Cool. And then when you're ready, nice and easy, release. We're going to just lean into the sits bones, swing your legs out, and then just take a couple of gentle windshield wipers, rocking the knees a little side to side, and just bringing a little blood flow back into the backs of the legs. And then when you're ready, we're going to swing it around into a tabletop. So spin your legs around in any way that works good for you. Knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. And then once you found your way here, we're going to curl both sets of toes under right into a hovering table. So we're going to pull the knees up away from the floor, engage the abdominal muscles nice and strong in the back and the shoulders, and then release the knees down, keep the toes tucked, pull your butt back to your heels. Come forward into your tabletop, keep your toes tucked under, pull the knees up away from the floor, hover your table nice and strong. And then when you're ready, release your knees, keep the toes tucked under, pull your butt back to your heels. Beautiful. One more time, just like that. Come forward into tabletop, keep the toes curled under, lift your knees, hover your table. Release your knees, pull your butt back to your heels, and then stay here for just an extra cycle of breath. A nice deep inhale. Nice, slow exhale. Awesome. And then come forward, releasing your left toes, slide your right foot back. So the right toes are going to stay curled under. Rock yourself forward and back just to get a little stretch in the Achilles heel and the calf. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slide that leg in and we're going to take it to the other side. Left toes curled under, slide that foot back, and then rock yourself forward and back. Nice. One more rock forward and back. And then we're going to slide that leg in, big toes together. We're going to walk the knees to the outer edges of the mat, but we're going to take it into our lion's breath. So you're going to pull your butt back towards your heels, but come into a more upright seated position. Flip your palms or fingertips. So fingertips are pointing in towards the inner thighs. Plant your palms on the ground, squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your chest. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, stick out your tongue, look to your third eye, and just let out a little noise. Take a big inhale. Exhale and let it all go. One more breath, just like that. Inhale, big inhale. Exhale, let it all go. Awesome. And then when you're ready, release your wrist, float yourself back into your tabletop position, walk your knees back in, move right into puppy pose, hips in line with the knees, hands towards the top edge of your mat, let your chest and your forehead melt down. Take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. 2 more cycles of breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully walk those hands back up and in. And then we're going to take it into our cow face prep pose. So right leg is going to shoot out from the hip. Left toes are going to swing over to the right side of your mat. And then you're going to tuck the right knee behind the left. So knees are stacked, toes are pointing in opposite directions. Pull your butt back towards your heels. Notice how your glutes feel. Our peak pose today is going to be an eagle pose. So if you can't wrap your knees here, if that feels like a little much, then when we get to our eagle pose, you might want to make some adjustments just so it feels comfortable. Bring yourself forward, unwind your legs, and we're going to take it right to the other side. Left leg is going to shoot out nice and long. Swing your right toes over to the left side of your mat. Tuck your left knee behind the right. Toes pointing in opposite directions. Pull your butt back to your heels. Notice your glutes here. Take a moment. And then when you're ready, bring it back up, unwind your legs, come back into your tabletop position. Beautiful. Curl both sets of toes under, and on an exhale, bring it up to downward facing dog. Take a few gentle pedals of the legs, bending one knee and pressing into the opposite heel. Beautiful. Take one more pedal of each leg, and then when you're ready, we're going to walk ourselves forward to a ragdoll fold at the top of the mat. So walk your feet forward and keep a super generous bend in the knees. Make some space for your belly and your chest, and then let your spine dangle here for a minute. Arms can be heavy or catch your elbows, whichever feels like a better way to go. And then just see if you can invite some softness into the back of your neck. So your gaze is down or at the end of your mat or to the wall behind you. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, if you're holding your elbows, release your fingers to the ground, super generous bend in your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way up nice and slow and controlled. And then as you come on up, just give a second to get yourself situated and then find your mountain pose at the top of your mat. So toes and knees pointing fairly forward, feet in a nice even stance, and then think about lifting up through the crown of your head, let your shoulders soften down, and then bring just a little reach or energy down into your fingertips. On an inhale, we're just going to lift the heels up away from the floor just a little bit, just to feel the toes and the balls of the feet, and then exhale, soften your heels back down. Inhale and lift your heels up. Exhale and soften down. One more just like that. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Right hand's going to touch up against the thigh. Left hand's going to reach up to the sky, and then take a nice side bend over to the right. Bring it back up. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches up, and take a side bend over to the left. Nice. Bring it up nice and easy. Both hands back down at your sides. Find your mountain pose again. Anchor into your feet. Lift up through the crown of your head. When you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to half forward fold, so we find some length in the spine, and then keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. One more just like that. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. We're going to lift the heels away from the floor and then stay lifted. So find that nice energetic lift, pulling up through the front of the body, up through the crown of your head. Feel your toes working, your ankles working, your feet working. Take one more good breath here. And then as you exhale, soften your heels down, reach your arms up and overhead, and we're going to sink right into a chair pose. So bring your weight back into your heels, sink your butt down and back. Beautiful. And then think about drawing your tailbone down just slightly to the point where you feel like your hip bones are pulling in towards each other or ribs are drawing in towards each other. So we find a little strength in the solar plexus. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then on your next inhale, push into your feet, rise up. As you exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest, look to the sky. Nice. And then on your next inhale, release, float your hands behind the back, interlace the fingers here, draw the knuckles down, draw the arms slightly away from the back of the body, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your chin, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, release and come back to your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight. That's totally up to you, whatever feels better now. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back. We're going to come through a warrior two. So we're going to drop the back heel down, turn the toes out about 45 degrees. Right hand is going to pick you up. Awesome. And then find that warrior two position for a moment. Gaze forward, nice and strong in the legs. And think about pushing your energy down into your feet and then reaching energy out through the fingertips at the same time. Take a nice big breath. Lovely. And then when you're ready, straighten that front leg. We're going to turn the toes out to the right side of the mat. So both toes are turned out to the side. And then just take a second to wiggle out your knees, wiggle out your hips, make sure everything feels really good. And then we're going to take a little fold. So hinge from your waist, soften your knees, and take your hands right down to the ground. And then we're going to start by a little gentle lunging side to side, but let your hands move with you. So we want that nice little sense of transfer of weight. Nothing fancy here, but our hands move with, and our knees are moving side to side. Beautiful. Take one more time each side. And then as you come back to center, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll on up, and we're going to lift up into a 5-pointed star. So arms are going to extend out nice and wide. Pull energy up through the feet, up the side body, up through the fingertips. Maybe look up slightly, take a nice big breath. Nice. And then turn the left toes forward, open back up into your warrior two. Bend that front knee, gaze forward. Beautiful. Now we're going to cartwheel the hands down to the ground, pivot on your back heel so you come into a lunge. Lovely. Plant your palms, step back to a plank. Lower your knees, rotate the eyes of the elbows towards the top of the mat, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Nice. One more time, just like that. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, lower down, push your way up into a tabletop position, curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog, take a breath there. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, press your palms together, shift your weight over to your left foot. We're going to peel the right leg up and then just see if you can take the right leg across the left, like you're crossing your legs in a chair, and then sink your butt down just a little bit. When you're ready, press into your left foot, rise up, step that foot off, press into your palms, keep that nice evenness through the front of the chest, and then shift your weight over to your right foot, pick your left leg up, cross the left leg over like you're crossing your legs in a chair, sit down just a little bit. Rise up, uncross the legs, and let your hands come down at your sides. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the left leg back, warrior two to the other side. Drop the heel, turn the toes out. Left hand is gonna pick you up. Awesome, and then in that same engagement, push down into your feet. So legs are active and strong. So we're pushing energy down into the earth and extending that energy out through the fingertips. Gaze past your right hand and take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to straighten that front leg, turn both toes out to the right side of the mat. And then you're going to toe heel your feet in just a little bit closer to each other, just so you have a little bit of a shorter stance here. And now we're going to start by taking a little bend and sway side to side. So you're going to feel your body weight move. So finding that transfer weight from side to side. But now we're going to extend the arms up and see if we can lift up into a little 5-pointed star or a single leg 5-pointed star. So we're going to take that transfer of weight, lifting one leg up and then the other, and let it be nice and fluid. So it doesn't have to be a static or holding for long periods of time. So let it be a fluid motion from one side to the other, lifting that energy out and feeling that nice sense of lift from the side of the body. Take one more time each side, and then come back to center, both feet anchored on the ground, push into your feet, reach up through the fingertips, lift your gaze slightly, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, turn the front toes out, come back through your warrior two position, spin your hands down to the ground, pivot your back heel, come into your lunge. Lovely. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Right away, bring the knees down, rotate the eyes at the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower onto your belly. And now we're going to graduate our cobras here. So hands alongside your shoulders, elbows soften at your ribs. Inhale up to a low cobra. Exhale to lower down. Slide your hands back about 1 inch. Inhale and lift your heart just a little higher. Beautiful. Exhale to lower down. Slide your hands back 1 more inch. And then this time, inhale, lift your heart just as high as feels good. Exhale, lower down. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. And now we're going to take our arms, open them nice and wide. Open the chest, open your heart up, look to the sky. Right hand is going to come on top of the left. We're going to give ourselves a little hug here. Grab your shoulders, pull the shoulders down. Pull your abdominal muscles in, round forward a little bit, tucking your elbows down, tuck your chin into your chest, breathe into the shoulder blades, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Inhale, lift and open your arms nice and wide, lift your chest, lift your gaze. And then when you're ready, left hand is going to come on top. Give yourself a little hug here, grab the shoulders, shoulders down, abdominal muscles in, elbows draw down, tuck chin into chest, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then on your inhale, open up nice and wide, lift your chest, lift your gaze, and then let your hands come down at your side, give everything a little wriggle around. And now we're going to find our way into our eagle pose. But if you notice that your balance was off, you might want a support system or just put one hip against a wall. And then if you felt like your shoulders were a little too tight, you might choose to stick with a hug rather than wrapping the arms all the way around. But when you feel ready, shift your weight onto your left foot, pick your right leg up, cross your right leg over. If you like, you can tuck the toes behind the calf, but only if that feels like a comfortable position. What we're shooting for is a nice little engagement or squeeze between the inner thighs. So squeeze the inner thighs, sink down just a little bit. Right leg is on top, so right hand is going to come on bottom. We're going to wrap the hands around, either wrapping around into that eagle position, elbows in line with the shoulders, thumbs moving slightly away from the face. Sink a little further if that feels good. If it feels like it's too much on the shoulders, just give yourself a hug here. And you always have the option to post your toe on the ground so you can keep a little bit of that third point of contact. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, rise up, unwind your legs, unwind your arms, give everything a little bounce, a little wiggle. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So standing on your right leg, pick your left leg up, bring it across. You can sink down a little bit. You can tuck the toes behind the calf if that feels like a way to go. Left leg on top, so left hand comes on bottom. We wrap the arms around or give yourself that hug. Elbows in line with the shoulders, thumbs away from the face. Focus your gaze. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, come up, unwind, give everything a little bounce, bounce out your knees, bounce out your shoulders, and then find your way back to mountain pose at the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up, hands meet, chest lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step both feet back to downward facing dog. Pick up the heels, lower the knees, come into tabletop position. We're going to crisscross the ankles and sit back on the butt. But if that's not a good position for your knees, you're just going to swing your feet out to one side and sit back on your butt. So sit your butt back and then swing your legs out in front of you. Nice. And then once you found your way there with your legs out in front of you, just take a second to walk into your sits bones, pull the toes in toward your body, hands plant alongside the hips, push into your hands, lift up through the crown of your head, find that nice top position. Legs are active, toes are active. Take one more breath. Nice. And then soften your legs, release your hands from the floor. Take a big breath, lift up and over. As you exhale, reach towards your feet. Does not matter if you touch your feet. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And when you're ready, nice and easy, walk yourself back up. We're going to scooch the butt forward, bend the knees, curl your tailbone under, and gently with control, roll your way down to the ground. Once you found your way down, take a second, walk your heels in a little closer to your butt so feet are about hip width distance apart. We're going to move right into a bridge position here. So hands down alongside the hips, push into your palms, push the backs of your arms into the floor. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, curl up the tailbone, roll up into a bridge. Your knees are reaching toward your toes. So we find length through the tops of the thighs and through the front of the hips. Keep pressing into the backs of the arms. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully roll down through the spine. We're going to pull both knees up into the chest, give a light little squeeze. And then with a firm hand hold, push your knees into your hands. Hands are going to resist. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, soften, pull the knees gently into the chest. And then do that again, a nice firm hand hold. Push your knees into your hands. Hands are going to resist. As you exhale, soften, pull the knees into the chest. And then one more time, just like that, push your knees into your hands. Hands resist. Take a big inhale. Exhale, soften, pull the knees into the chest, and then hold onto your right knee. Left leg is going to go nice and long. We're going to take it right into supine twist. So right knee is going to come over and across the body. Right arm opens out nice and wide. Head turns to the right if that feels good. Take one more breath. And then we're going to pull that right knee back in and take it right into a half happy baby. So keep your left leg nice and long, float your right foot up and then see, can you catch hold of the blade edge of the foot or the big toe? Or does it feel better to grab the back of the thigh? Whatever hand hold works best for you. And then think about taking that knee wide out past the ribs. Knee is drawing down towards the floor, heels up towards the sky. Soften your shoulder down, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, you're going to release that foot, pulling both knees back into the chest, a light little squeeze, and then hold on to your left knee. Right leg is going to go nice and long, right into supine twist to the other side. So left knee comes over and across the body. Left arm opens wide, head turns to the left if that feels good. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, pull the left knee in towards your chest, right into your half happy baby. So float that foot up. Maybe you grab the blade edge of the foot, maybe the big toe, or maybe the back of the thigh. Whatever handhold is good for you. Knee is out nice and wide past the ribs. And then the knee draws down towards the floor as the heel reaches up to the sky. Take one more breath. From here, we're going to move right into a single leg up the wall. So as you release your left foot down to the ground, right leg is going to reach up to the sky. And once your left foot is touched down to the ground, you're going to give your right leg a good gentle shake. Let the toes and the ankle be nice and loose and just move that lymphatic fluid a little bit. And take one more breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to set the right foot down. Left foot's going to reach up to the sky. Once that right foot touches down, give that left foot a nice gentle shake. Nice. One more gentle shake of that foot. And then when you're ready, float the left foot down, toe heel, both feet out to the outer edges of your mat. Take a few windshield wipers here, just to invite some fluid movement back into the hips, soften up the low back, and then touch base again. Notice, how is your body feeling? And where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to come to constructive rest? Let the knees drop in towards each other. Do you want a little bit more action for the hips? Maybe come back into reclined cobbler's pose, or do you like that more traditional shape and walk your feet nice and long? And then whichever shape of the body you choose, if you're in a colder room, maybe some socks or a sweater or blanket, something that can tuck you in and make you feel nice and cozy in your Shavasana. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And if it feels good to do so, you're just going to rock your head a little bit side to side. And then if your legs are extended nice and long, for this next moment, it might feel beneficial to just walk your feet in so it's in a little bit more supported position. So think constructive rest, maybe just walking into a bent knee position and then letting the knees drop in towards each other. We're going to start by taking the hands to the belly. Take a nice big inhale and just allow your belly to inflate like a balloon. Exhale, let all that air go. Keep one hand on the belly and move one hand up to the heart. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow exhale. And then the other hand that's on the belly, bring that up and stack it right on top of the hand that's on the heart. And then we're going to take 3 humming breaths here. So you're going to take a nice big inhale, allow the belly to inflate. And as you exhale, just let out a nice low hum. Take a nice big inhale, fill your belly up. And as you exhale, let a nice low hum go. One more breath here. Inhale, let your belly inflate. Exhale and let out a low hum. Nice. And then when you're ready, release your hands from your heart. Give your fingers a little wiggle. Give your toes a little wiggle. We're going to pull both knees up into the chest, a nice little gentle squeeze, and then maybe a little gentle rock side to side. And then when you're ready, in your own pace and in your own way, start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position. So you might choose to rock and roll up or roll to one side, but take your time as you find your way up. Awesome. And then once you found your way up into a nice tall upright seat, we're going to tuck the chin down to the chest and come back to the rolling of the head gently side to side. So we're just going to tune back in. Notice how the sides of your neck's feeling. Notice your shoulders. Notice your jaw. Notice your cheekbones. Take one more roll of your head side to side. And then keeping your head bowed toward your heart, stack your hands on your heart. Close your eyes down if it feels good. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. And then breathe in a whole bunch of extra love for your friends, for your family, for your pets. And then breathe in some extra love for those that it's hardest to find some love and gratitude for. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Saturday.